Are we mentally prepared to live extended periods of time underwater?
Welcome to Colonize the Ocean podcast, where we discuss oceanic colonization, exploration, and education with your hosts Adam Jewell and Brendan Traxler.
So, when we start discussing what it's going to look like and what it's going to take to live and work indefinite periods of time underwater, last week on the shore, I discussed really quickly, what a daily life would look like living underwater. So that goes to the effect of, what's the psychological effects of that, pros and cons. And really, a lot of it boils down to who you are as a person. If you're more introverted, you're probably going to deal with it better versus extroverted people. But ultimately, I think the really key and one of the core focuses of what us here at ASC are doing is the fact that you have to be able to come and go as freely as you want. That's why we're focused on those, being as close to surface pressure as possible so that there is no decompression time, so that you can be like, hey, I just want to go out to eat today. I'm going to just go outside and go up to the surface and go eat type of thing. It's that freedom and that knowledge, I think, a lot will psychologically help a lot of people. However, there are some definitely things we have found throughout the years about, confined spaces, the effects of the ocean and stuff along those lines. Like I was saying, that if you're an introvert or something, that you're probably going to do fine. You actually, and I am an introvert, so it's one of the things I joke around with people is like, this is like a dream. I mean, being able to be underwater, away from everybody, in my own little enclosure, it sounds perfect. But also at the same time, if you have other people with you, it definitely can create a more tight knit bond because of the closeness and having to deal with those. But some of the negative things are it can, especially if you have some major phobias that can come into play. And we're not going to bring that all into it, but there are some stressful situations that can be brought in there. A level of boredom and monotony, irritability. All these things have been shown, especially when there isn't stuff to do. So it's one of those things where the goal or the focus needs to be on extra things to do, either internally or externally, to keep you busy and keep your mind activated. There's a lot that can be done from a design element to make small areas look larger, and that's going to have to come into effect as well. And some other things are some of the other benefits is that it's widely known, and there's I have a book on this, but there's the benefits of the ocean itself, and that just the sounds alone reduce stress. The waves above or hitting the vessel on the shore or whatever. The ability to almost get into a meditative like state, and then if you want to get into the chemistry of it, there's negative ions associated with that too, especially in the air around the ocean. So they've seen that your mood is usually improved when you're in and around the ocean. You're not as stressful. You feel more connected to nature. And so these are all benefits that I believe will come and will counteract some of those negatives. But like I said, unless you are able to know that you can easily come and go, that impending, I wouldn't call it doom, but there's going to be that impending fear or concern, which would lead to anxiety. about what you're doing. The divers and the scientists who go and stay at Aquarius, they go down there, and I think they have 45 minutes before they have to come back to the surface, or they're stuck down there until they have to decompress. And the decompression is based upon how long they've been down there. So you can decompress for quite a while. So if you have a medical emergency or you get bored, you're stuck. You just got to, do your thing until you're able to come back to the surface later. So especially as we are designing and focusing on the everyday person, we have to keep that in mind. We have to keep in mind things for people to do, because just going down there to sleep, see the sights, and hang out for 24 to 48 hours isn't enough. And we have to make sure that we have a safe access to and from the surface quickly. And I think that once those things are all accomplished and we're able to do that on a regular basis, we will be opening the oceans up to a vast new part of the population who probably may not have had that experience before, or would have even thought about that experience before, due to health inabilities, physical inabilities, or just mental inabilities. So I guess my question for this short would be something along the lines of, what pros or cons do you see from a psychological level of living underwater?